If you were planning on playing WoW today, you're probably not going to play very much. We already know 8-hour downtime. By the time this goes up on YouTube, the servers would already been down for a couple hours, and I'm expecting this maintenance period to get extended. With the transmog changes that are going into effect, this retroactive action, whenever they do something retroactive that changes the game, shit breaks. So I'm expecting things to break, and this server time, downtime, expected to be longer than usual, but if it is in fact the same as they've been saying, 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time is the time that it should come back up, which is actually 6 p.m. for me here on the East Coast. You can do the math on wherever you are. That's their predicted downtime. As I said before, I'm expecting this to get extended. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. But here we go. 8-hour downtime, boys and girls. Prepare yourselves for 8 hours of no WoW. What do degenerates do? Go touch grass. Just kidding. Don't do that. You might hurt yourself. Just sit at your computer and wait for the servers to come back up. Moving on, the 20th anniversary currency breakdown. Here it is, boys and girls. We got a lot of currencies that we're going to be getting in this anniversary event, and these currencies are going to be able to buy you things, but there's two very important currencies. Those currencies are the Time Warp badges that we've had all along for quite a long time, and the new currency, the Bronze Celebration Token. I'm going to break down for you how much you're going to need of each of these to buy all of the items here in the anniversary event. First off, for the Bronze Celebration Tokens, this is this currency you'll be getting basically from doing all the different event things and all the stuff coming with the anniversary event. You'll need 485 Bronze tokens to purchase every item in the WoW 20th anniversary event. Obviously, this includes items that already existed in World of Warcraft previously, so if you have some of these, you'll need a little bit less. In fact, if you have all the items that are currently available that were once available before, you only need 395 of these Bronze Celebration tokens to buy all of the new stuff. So that's great. First off, what are you going to need in terms of the tier sets? Because we all know that's the number one thing for everybody. 320 Bronze tokens will be needed to buy the 13 Eternal tier sets for everybody, for tier 2 set for every single class that exists in the game right now. The first one's going to cost you 60, the second one will cost you 40, and that discount continues on. The final 11 will cost you 20 each, giving you a total of 320 to buy all of the tier 2 sets that are going to exist in the game. 75 for the Historian Maddie's wares, including the Lil Doomy's hilt, which is that new little Doom Lord pet that's going to be available. All Blizzard service training transmogs, if you remember the sword and the shield and all that, the ring, all of the Blizzard-esque rewards that are now going to be in the game. You'll be able to get that. And then the 20th anniversary balloon chest toy, which is, I believe, the balloon that lets you float around and stuff like that. 90 for all of the mounts and pets that are returning to the game for the anniversary event. If you don't have the ones that already were part of previous anniversary events, there's going to be 2 mounts, which are 20 each, totaling 40, and 5 different pets for 10 each, totaling 50 bronze. So you're going to be grinding out these bronze for quite a little while. Now, when I say quite a while, if you fully degenerate yourself, I mean, become one with WoW. Open your cheeks and insert your keyboard and just play this game non-stop. You will need about 3 weeks to get every single item available in the game, and that would mean that you don't have any of these items to start with. I'm talking about grinding out 485 of these things. It'll take you around 3 weeks. Now, that's because there is some time limitations to these things. You can't go completely and lose your mind. Some of this stuff is weekly, daily quests, so there are some limitations to how many you can get per day, but that limitation kind of gets lifted once you get the specific achievement for getting 100 of these tokens, the token collector achievement, that is, which allows you to kind of do some repeatable stuff to grind out these things. So anyways, the first completion of the anniversary quests will be the thing you're going to want to do right off the bat. Meet and greet, shop squeak. These things are only once per warband. These will give you 10 each. And then the first completion of Blackrock Depths, the Truth of Dark Irons, will give you 5. So that's those are some one-time things that you're going to do real quick once you log in. And then there's a bunch of repeatable sources. Completing the anniversary quest, Celebrating a Good Fun, will grant you 3 per week. Completing weekly quests in Khazalgar will give you 1 each. Completing weekly events in Khazalgar will give you 1 each. Completing weekly quests will give you 2 each. And then completing 20th anniversary quests will grant you 3 each. Again, these are all weekly quests. You'll be able to do all of these once per week. Once you've earned the achievement, you'll be able to grind out some extra bronze tokens by just going and no-lifing some of this shit. And basically, the no-life stuff that you'll be able to do: bosses killed in the Blackrock Depths raid, anniversary world bosses, classic time-walking dungeon completions, Codex of Cromie scenario completions, and then daily quests from Korak's Revenge. Doing these things will only give you bronze tokens on repeatable style once you have unlocked that token collector, which is getting 100 bronze tokens. So that's kind of the initial race. Get to that 100, and then you'll be able to start doing this stuff. The other currency that's important here is your time warp badges. A lot of people already have a lot of these. They've been playing, WoW for quite a while. I've been doing these time warp events. You got a lot. If you have 35,805 of these already, you've officially unlocked everything if you spend it all in the anniversary event. That's right. So 33,100 of these will get you the rewards from Barambu, which includes the Reigns of the Frey Feather Hippogriff, which is that new retro-looking hippogriff, right? It kind of looks like it's made back in the day in Classic WoW. You'll be able to get that. You'll also get the Kraggles and Misty Battle Pets and all the weapons cosmetics from the Season of Discovery content. That'll cost you 33,100. Then for 1,205 for all the recreations, you'll get the ultra rare transmogs from Classic WoW, and then 1,500 will get you the title, the Notary Grably. So in total, again, 35K, 35.8K. A lot of people might already have this, so you don't even have to grind these out anymore. If you don't, of course, you can go do some of the new time walking dungeons, right? Obviously, we're gonna have Dead Mines. What's the other ones? It's going back to do Culling of Strathome, going back to do the Night Elf dungeon. God, I can't remember what it's called right now. I freaking love that dungeon too, and I'm drawing a blank on it. But those are all going to be available to do and get your time warp badges. Of course, there's also going to be a, I believe, is it Wrath of the Lich King time walking event during this event? So that'll be another way to go ahead and get some of these things. Grinding out these badges shouldn't take you too long, and I think it's going to be a bit easier. Bronze tokens is going to be something that people really got. Dire Maul, yes. The 2 weeks of Dire Maul is the other one, of course. So that's it for currencies. Now, changes in damage is going to be big for this patch. There's going to be a ton of changes going into effect that affect your class's damage output, tanking ability, healing ability, all that stuff. These are a couple changes that Blizzard just put in yesterday. Changes that Blizzard just put in yesterday for this patch. So here they are. We have the new talent, Emperor Ward. Lay on Hands grants the target only 30% increased armor, down from 100, and that's for 8 seconds, down from 30, and now ignores healing reduction effects, 50% increased armor for PvP. This kind of sucks, not gonna lie. Lay on Hands getting nerfed a bit here. I don't know what the Imperial's Ward used to do. I guess it was 100%. Now they dropped that. Kind of sucks. These things are nice for tanks to have in the back, pocket, a paladin that can give them some lay on hands, and that's not going to affect him as much anymore. Lightforge Blessing now heals for a 2% maximum health, was 3%, so down there. Blizzard just making this game harder. I don't know what it is. And then this is the worst of all. The Poison Totem. The Poison Cleansing Totem has become a big thing for doing Mythic Plus, right? It's a big thing for getting past some of these dungeon mechanics, and now it's getting nerfed. It's getting nerfed into the ground, in fact. Was a 45-second cooldown, now 2 minutes. So now a 2-minute cooldown on this. Basically, it was almost required at one point to bring a shaman because of the how good the Poison Cleansing Totem was helping you get past some of this stuff, especially some of the Mythic Plus mechanics specifically. And they are claiming that these changes made kind of the same way that they made the change back to Dispelling back in the Dragonflight seasons. I mean, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. I understand the change because they don't want shamans to be a requirement to bring because they are so good right now at cleansing shit. But, man, this is going to hurt a bit. This is going to hurt because bringing a shaman used to basically mean you didn't have to pay attention to some of this stuff. Some other changes. Enhancement Shaman, deeply rooted elements chance to trigger reduced to 3%, was 6%, and it was previously 7% before that. Now triggers the cast rather than damage dealt. So there you go. That's a little bit of a nerf there. Triggered reduced to 3%. Oh no, it's actually a buff here. In the future patch, we're going to change this based on the Maelstrom weapon stack spent rather than per cast ability. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. It should trigger more often now, so that's pretty good for you guys. And then Dungeons and Raids, Battle for Azeroth and Shadowland raids encounters, we talked about this before, should now be soloable. So there you go. The rest of these notes are still the same. These are just the changes they put in just yesterday. So this is a really nice summary here of all the class changes going into effect. Everybody's getting class changes today. This is besides the anniversary event. There's going to be a lot of rebalancing going on, and overall, this is how things are stacking out. So if you are, in fact, an Arcane Mage, Frost DK, Frost Mage, You got yourself, what is it, a Druid Rogue, a Rogue here, Blood DK, another Sub-Titty. You got your Beast Mastery Hunter. All of these are getting buffed. The biggest buff here, 11.7% to Arcane. Isn't Arcane already doing amazing? Holy crap, this is all single target damage, by the way. So this is great. It looks like all the Hunter classes are getting pretty nice buffs as well. And if you look at here, Rogues, right? Rogues are doing really, really good too, based on this stuff, as are Death Knights. I mean, you got Frost and Blood right here. These are all nerfs. So the nerfs here are, again, to, what is this? Holy Paladin, Retribution Paladin, Fire Mage, and whoever the Boomkin class is. Yes, they're getting nerfed as well. So these are the nerfs for them. 6.5% to Fire Mage being the biggest nerf of all. Uncertainties here, and then the best stat priority is best, what is this? Best stat is Mastery. Right now, based on all these changes, I guess best stat is Mastery to stack that up and get yourself a little bit stronger. These things are work in progress. We'll see how these things end up going out, but this is your single target damage stacks as of what the patch notes are looking like. What class is not even on the list? Where is my 200% Arms Warrior buff? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why Arms Warrior is not on this list. Some of these aren't on here, but these look like the single target class tuning summary expected. Maybe the Warrior class shit already started to happen for whatever reason. We look here. Let's see if we can find the Warrior and some of the other ones. Yeah, here it is. Arms Warrior, negative 1%, 5 cap. So the target cap, I guess, on Arms Warrior is a bit low. Right, the target cap kind of affects them a lot. So they were once the AoE captains. Now they're getting target capped a bit more, so that'll nerf them a bit. We'll see how the rest of the changes go into effect. Again, this is just like a little summary they put together. We'll see how all these things actually go. Yeah, the prop pally being uncertain is one of them too. That we'll have to see how that ends up turning out as well. Moving on to the current changes, right? This is, the current stats. Here you are, DPS charts before all of these changes go into effect. We're going to look at these after, obviously, but as of right now, this is where things currently stand in Week 6 of Nerubar Palace Mythic Rating. Let's see overall damage. Enhancement Shaman has been the top for quite a while. Fire Mage and Arcane Mage coming up right behind him. Retribution Paladin, Marksmanship Hunter, Beast Mastery Hunter here in the top 10. Ass Rogue, Frost DK, Unholy DK. So there you go. Those are your top 10. Havoc Demon Hunter rounding them out at the bottom there. Frost Mage at the bottom. They're getting a big buff as we just saw in the previous charts, right? They were. Yeah, 8% buff. So we'll see how that turns out for them. In the middle here, Devastation Evoker, Arms Warrior, Demonology, Sub-Titty. We'll have to see how all of this pans out. That's for your overall damage. Let's see damage to bosses specifically. Enhancement Shaman, just unbelievable. They are doing top DPS all around, whether it's single target, multi-target. I mean, they are just pumping right now. Ass Rogue right behind them. Arcane Mage doing great too, and they're getting buffed even more, so we'll have to see how they end up looking. Beast Mastery Hunter, Retribution Paladin, Arms Warrior, Marksmanship and Survival Hunter, also doing really, really well. And then Fire Mage, Feral Druid, Shadow Priest. Bottom here, Furry Warrior. We know Furry used to be one of the best, the Slayer of Furries, of course, and they are now at the very bottom. We'll have to see after these changes go into effect if they get a little bit better. I think their AoE damage is just never going to recover from what it previously was, but now they are currently bottom. We got Frost DK down here too. Windwalker Monk, Balanced Druid, and Frost Mage. Warlocks all having a hard time with their specs. We'll see how their changes affect their things going forward. There shouldn't be a lot of movement up and down from the prior week. We see Frost Mage up 9 spots from the previous week. That is the biggest mover up. Biggest mover down, a couple moved down 3. It looks like Frost DK down 3, Outlaw Rogue down 3, Arms Warrior down 3. Those are your biggest movers down. Besides that, not many changes going on here. Obviously, the big changes are going to affect today. This chart will have balancing all over the place for next week when we review this thing. We'll have to see all these changes go into effect. And again, this summary chart that was put together here, kind of iffy. I think some of these changes are accurate, some aren't. I believe Arcane got some nerfs too, so we'll have to see what this actually ends up looking like. As we mentioned, some of the Warrior changes, a few classes are missing from here, but these are the final look at what things are going to look like here as 11.5 goes into effect.